Hello, everybody. This is Robert Hollis, and the title for today is Dreams Do Come True. Dreams do come true. So we'll wait for some people. Facebook, thank you very much for sharing this with all my followers and getting it out there to everyone. And I really appreciate you, Facebook. While everybody is saying negative things about stuff, I'm going to say positive things about stuff. So that's my theme and been my theme for a long time, especially once I met mentors and I looked at their lives. So, hey, Bill, how are you? Hi, my son. Hi, Ron Henley. Hi, Terry, my lovely wife. And so, yeah, I see that people are on here, so I'm just going to go ahead and go. And hi, Nicholas. Hi, Chris. Chris, absolutely, man. It's hi, John. So now I'm going to focus. Melody, love and appreciate. Okay, so the title for today is Dreams Do Come True. Dreams do come true. And you know, I'm coming to you today, and it's going to sound like I'm bragging, and I'm not. I'm just being grateful, incredibly grateful. And you know, I can look from my office out this window and see the ocean. And you know, we just finished, you know, one of the biggest, the second largest month that I've had in 4 years with My Daily Choice. You know, close to 900,000 in sales. You know, that will produce a check. Don't need to put an income disclosure statement, but that will easily produce a check that's, you know, right around six figures, $100,000 for a month. So it could be anywhere from 80 to 90,000. You know, with the new back office, they're constantly checking, and I know people are still doing volume. And hi, Peter. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Gabe, Randy. And I just want each and every one of you to know that 35 years ago, or even I could say 36 years ago, you know, if you looked at my life and who I was and the way I thought and what I was doing, I was just, I don't know, just like everyone in the world, you know, your life goes ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. And, you know, here I am, moved out to California. I'm working on professional race cars with Roger Penske, drag cars with Kenny Bernstein, victory race cars. And I'm just doing what my dream was. So, you know, here I was 13, 14 years old, working on race cars. And, you know, I learned from other people that built race cars. I cleaned parts. I did all that stuff. And my guardians at that time had to sign a piece of paper at the age of 16. At the age of 16, so I could race professionally in the NHRA. And I seen, you know, a Hot Rod magazine, and it had, hey, Tom, I love you. And I seen this magazine, and the guy actually built, it was Grumpy's Toys, and he put a big Corvette motor, 500 horsepower motor, and a Vega. So that's what I decided to do at the age of 16. And I went through, I looked at all the stuff I needed. I was working a paper route. I was working at the gas station. I was doing all kinds of stuff to make the money. And I built a Vega, a V8 Vega. And it ended up, I kept getting better and better at it. And it ended up being one of the fastest street cars in a 3-state region. Now I'm talking North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. You know, I think all the states combined, you know, have maybe a 1.5 million people. So we're not talking like a big deal, right? But the car was street legal. You know what I mean? And it was so funny when I met my wife. You know, if you guys want to hear a funny story, I don't want to go on a tangent here. But when I met my wife, we took a snowmobile trailer and put sides on it, put this, you know, the trailer acted up, ended weighing way more than the car, which is the most dangerous thing you can do. And I put a bumper hitch on a Vega, and we drove from Montana to California. And oh my God, the stories that we have with that is just nuts. I mean, the rear end went out halfway there. I found a way to go to a junkyard, get another rear end, talk to the guy that was there to haul it to a Walmart parking lot. And I pulled my toolbox out and I repaired it right there in a Walmart parking lot. And the wind got so strong through the mountains that, when we got close to Arizona, we had to pull the sides off the trailer because the wind going against the trailer, the little car couldn't pull it fast enough. And I sit there and I think about all this stuff, and if you dream, I wanted someone I could spend the rest of my life with, and that came into fruition. I wanted a beautiful family. I got the best sons ever. They got incredible daughter-in-laws. I got grandkids. It's just like, the dreams just keep getting better and better and better and better. And in the midst of this, all of a sudden I get hurt on the job. And my income goes from full-time income, probably, I don't know, I think the gross income that I made was probably around $50,000, and this is back in the mid-'80s. And by the time the taxes and the, overtime and everything, I was probably lucky if I was pulling, $3,500 net home or whatever a month. And I still have some old pay stubs. And now I'm making $900 a month on workman's comp, and my whole life fell apart. And so now I'm like, for the first time, without realizing it, because my dreams are that way, is I just went, God, whatever you want to do with me, if I guess if I'm going to go into the ministry, or you want me to be a pastor, or you want me to, travel around and do whatever, just whatever it is. And I just opened up my mind. I tell people, some of the key things in my book, which, by the way, you can go to roberthollis.com/free and get a PDF of the book. And I just mentally just went, I'm open to anything, because I lost my identity. I'm not a mechanic anymore. I had some doctors and surgeons tell me that I wouldn't be able to walk with a limp, and you won't be able to play balls with your son or whatever, football or catch or whatever. And, it was a really dark time for me, really super dark time for me. But when you give up on stuff, then all of a sudden your mind opens. So now my mind started doing this crazy stuff. What if, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be great to learn a new trade? Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great to, find someone that would mentor me, like I learned in race cars and learned as a mechanic and learned in martial arts? Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great to find someone and learn a new trade, learn a new thing to do? And I was open to anything. And I still say this to this day. Thank you, Sean Hennigan, for having the courage. Having the courage to just use the simple script. And talk to people. So my mentor, Bill, really said this. He just said, hey, told Sean, think about the people that that are optimistic, they're motivated, they're already above average. Everything they do is above average. You feel better around them when you're not around them. And I don't know why Sean thought I was pretty funny at a family barbecue. And he said, so he called me up, hey Bobby, how you doing? And I always say this, and some people disagree with me, but you cannot, listen to me, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right people. They'll pull it out of you. And so some of you have heard this story before, where all of a sudden, Sean says, have you heard of Amway? I didn't know who Amway was. I didn't know what direct sales was, network marketing, nothing. I didn't know what the word entrepreneur, I never heard the word entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Nothing, And so thank you, Tom. Thank you, John. Thank you, Melody. And so all of a sudden, he says to me, have you heard of Amway? I said, no. And he goes, well, listen, it's nothing like that. and it's legal. And every time I tell this story, I get a bunch of people that send me messages. Amway's not legal. I know it's not. It's number one. I think they just went up another $400 million to $8.9 billion. For those of you that like videos, check out my YouTube channel and put in why Amway's kicking our ass. Because they keep it simple. And they talk about the most important things in life. Supplementing your income to spend more time with your family, to have freedom, and work on the art of fulfillment. They haven't missed their message yet. You know what I mean? If you guys try to find a video on Amway, not to get off track, but the guy spends 2 minutes talking about him, a minute talking about Amway, a minute on the products, and then the rest of the video, he's drawing circles, sharing with you a vision of how you can actually make money upfront, make money residually, and how to leverage and help other people's dreams to come true, so you'll never have to work again. You know, they keep the message the same that I heard 35 years ago. And oh, by the way, congratulations. I not only seen Tom on here, but Ron Henley, 41 years. Today is his 41st anniversary in network marketing. So, you know, to think that some of these legends have been in the business longer than I. And so, you know, so guess what? I'm like, what are you talking about, Sean? What are you talking about? But it's just important to know that I was dreaming first. I said, wouldn't it be great if I found another mentor to teach me? Wouldn't it be great if as I learned something new? Wouldn't it be great if I could make more money than I'm making now? My whole life was like, what would it be like? Wouldn't it be awesome to make 6 figures a year? Woo! $100,000 a year. That would be freaking awesome. And to think that it's 35 years later, and still only 11% of the people in the United States make over 6 figures. Wow. When today we have people like me that are willing to show you every single step to do. I give you all the training for free on my YouTube channel. I give my book away. It's like, man, it's like I don't need to go on a tangent. I'm on a different subject. Dreams do come true. Like I did Ask Me Anything. If you want to see the replay, you can go to roberthollis.com/free. And yesterday there was an incredible new guy in our group, and he was going, Robert, sometimes on your videos, it feels like you're beating me with a rubber hose. David, I think it was like, or Don. It was crazy, right? Okay, so staying on track, so I'm not too long. So then he says the other thing. I go, Sean, what are you talking about? And he said, listen, I met this guy. He showed me his income. It was on a check, a stub of an income. It was $62,000 he made for the month. And he was taught by people that have a proven training system and a way to do this business that if you follow it the way that he does it, you can make 6 figures your first year. And it was the right person, even maybe with the wrong message. And I said to Sean, listen, I'll come pick you up. I'll come pick you up. And I say this all the time. I think the biggest key to my success is willing to be an apprentice, willing to follow instructions, willing to not have to feel the need for me to put my own spin on it. If they told me what to do, I just did it. And I understood that, you know, that if I just did it and I dreamt, wow, if these guys can do it, I can do it. And I looked at these people doing testimonials and I'm going like, man, these people don't seem that smart. And their backgrounds and their lack of college education, which, you know, same with me. They just seem like average people doing above average things. And I was like, man, I don't need 60 grand a month. But, you know, 6 would be pretty cool. So if I can do 10% of what these people do, And I'm still dreaming today. And I became a national marketing director with that company in the 80s, late 80s, went to the top of the company. And then all of a sudden my mentor started his own company, and I went to the top of that company, was one of the top 5 income earners there, knocked down the top position. And then I went to ACN, and we started there, and I was the #1 RVP in the company. I believe the years were 98, 99, 2000. Then they created another position, and I just don't stop dreaming. I've never, ever, ever stopped dreaming. And I keep setting higher goals, and I keep setting more challenges for myself. And so when all of a sudden you got people are like going, oh my God, if you made 6 figures a month, how do you spend that money? You know what? You have to. I learned success and wealth principles from people that have it. And you can dislike the greatest country in the world. You know what I mean? You can do that. But the way the laws are written up is simply this. If you make more money, they're going to tax you more money. Unless you find a way to spend that money, bringing down your gross income. So all of a sudden you're in a position where you're going, I don't know how to give away all this money. Well, you can give 44% away to charities. Wow. I never thought about that. And so to think that I support over 2,500 orphans, I want that to be 25,000. I want that to be 250,000. And I'm looking at the economy and inflation, and I'm like, man, and the company that I'm currently with, and the way that they're setting themselves, to think that a person could actually listen to this, and all, not some of them are going to fall aside, like Blockbuster, and Kodak, Toys R Us. There's going to be some companies that are not going to change. But nowadays, companies that are doing marketing are doing them more like Amazon, where you can get involved in the company for free and make money. You know what I mean? So, when you look at companies like MDC that I'm involved in, a person can get in the company for free. They provide the mobile app. They provide the back office. They provide the capture pages, the customer relation management, the email sequences. They supply everything, and I still don't get why people won't look at something for free. Click on a link, put your name and email in, and then go in, create a free affiliate account, and your back office looks exactly like mine, except for volume and the amount of money that's made and the amount of customers and the amount of reps. And if I can do it, you can do it. Me and Ron Henley were talking about when I first got involved in this company, and someone raised my bars, which was Josh and Jenna, and I realized that Jenna Zweigel, was, and maybe still is, the #1 female money earner, over $1 million a month. And I got to thinking, man, I became a representative, an affiliate. I asked her for her back office. She sent me, I took a picture of it, and I had it posted. I was telling Ron Henley this. I got it posted in my office. I had it posted in the bathroom. I had it posted next to the television in our living room. And I'm just like, wow, I always sort of dreamt of $1 million a month. But you guys got to understand that you can't get there without helping other people, without helping people get dreams of their own. And so I'm like, at our last convention, it's mind-boggling to me that after they gave away 10 awards for the people with the #1 volume, and there was 4 of my people on stage. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, the Candace Bird Davis and the Aaron Parker and Tomas Adam, 29 years old in Budapest, Hungary, and Shandor in Budapest, Hungary, and Arpad from Romania. And I'm just looking at these people and I'm just going, oh my God, their dreams are coming true. And I just want each and every one of you to know that I get to go out, introduce myself to people, inspire and give them hope by them talking about the dreams that they put away. You know, they put them away. And I get them to dream again. And I get to share with them how you can very simply show people how to create a free account. Let them try the products that they want. And if they don't have the money to try the products with the 60-day money back guarantee, that they can, you know, go out and share with other people and go all the way to the top of the comp plan. And I'm like, you know, I talked to a new person I'm working with. Her name is Marie. She's just amazing. And she said, you know, I always felt like I had a gift to give. You know, that someone imparted wisdom and a gift to me to allow me never to work for anybody ever again, to have freedom, lifestyle, fulfillment, and pass that down to legacies to my family. So it was this incredible gift that I had to give. And I just feel this incredible urgency to just consistently keep giving that gift to everyone I possibly can. It's so easy and simple, but it's easier not to do it because you have to get away with this mentality that a majority of people don't want a gift. I don't remember who I said this to, but it's like when you're walking through a mall or you're going to a fair or the airport and there's this person with the clipboard, right? And you see them with the clipboard and you're like, oh my God, I don't get eye contact. Don't get eye contact. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they're usually trying to give us a free credit card or free something, but it's like, God forbid they allow us to talk to them and allow them to give us a free gift. You know, gee whiz, you know, I'm really, really busy. I'm really focused. I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's just amazing. It's just really, really, truly amazing. So, you know, I'm here today. I want to leave with this. I just knew that this would be something cool. I love watching Shark Tank. I mean that everyone. Thank you, Tom. You're a gift as well. And you know, I just mentally in my mind watch Shark Tank. I think that everybody should watch Shark Tank because after you share your inspiration and your information and all the stuff, you know, and where you came from, it always comes down, you know, usually from Mr. Wonderful, and they let him. And if I was using Tom as an example, it's like, Tom, what are your sales? Tell me what your sales are. What's the cost per unit? What do you sell it at? What's this profit range? And every once in a while, you get someone on there that goes, well, listen, you know, I've been in business for 3 years. And, you know, we did like 200,000 our first year and then 800,000 our second. And we're on track this year to do 1.2 million. And you guys got to take the time to listen to the numbers because it's like, I just sit there and giggle when they do it. And Terry goes, why are you giggling? Excuse me. And I was going, if they asked me those same questions, Robert, what are your sales? Last month we did 1 million. This month we did close to 1 million. Last year in 6 months we did 6.6 million. Excuse me? Oh yeah. We do like over $1 million every month in volume. A month? You do over $12 million a year? Do you know if I spoke at Shark Tank, you know what they would say to me? You see these every once in a while. And they go, why are you here? Why are you here? Are you in debt? No, I'm not in debt. Do you have money in the bank? Oh yeah, millions in the bank. Why are you here? And usually it's, listen, you know, I wanted to get a connection with one or more of the sharks because I want to take this to the whole world. That's why I just believe that if I could get you to see what the gift that I offer, you know, that you would know that this is for other people. And it would be like, that's it. And of course, some of the sharks get mad at people that are doing well because they say, oh, you're just on here to get the exposure. So everyone that watches Shark Tank sees you. Yeah, I am. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. There's never been a better time in history to do this. I said this on a few of my other videos that, right now people are being squished more than ever. I'm an optimistic person. I just know that it's not going to disappear right away. So the median, the average cost of a home in Orange County, California is $1 million. $1 million. While for the past 10 years, people's income has gone down. It's nuts to me. So people are just starting to celebrate that they're getting a raise, and then inflation kicks in. And I seen this other part. It's like, where are they getting 7.9% inflation when everything that I know has gone up 30%, 40%? The cost of everything, groceries, gas, you know what I mean? The essentials. Yeah, Netflix, Amazon, they're raising. So while everyone else is getting squeezed, that's when people, some people on here like Ron Henley and Tom, Melody, we were in the industry in the 80s, and we were in the industries in the 2007, 2008. And I love when it comes to the place where you say, hey, listen, I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. Do you know of anyone right now that needs to make a little extra money? They can work from any place, anywhere. It's now a true smartphone business, and anywhere that you can, hook up to Wi-Fi. You can do this business everywhere. While the billionaires of the world, like Elon Musk and Microsoft and Google, they're doing their very best to get everyone free online internet. Because that's where they're getting their customer base. We couldn't be living in a better time ever. So, I just wanted to tell you that if you're not dreaming, maybe this will be the video that I do tomorrow, but it's like the dream circle. So when I started out as a kid, I had a big, big dream circle and a very, very, very small income circle. And so what a lot of people did and I did is I started shrinking my income circle my dream circle to match my income circle. Other people have a home. I don't need one. I'll just rent. I don't need a new car. I don't need to go on a vacation. I'll just, I haven't seen a lot of stuff. I haven't seen a lot of stuff around the house. I mean, my own city. I don't go see that stuff. I could go see that stuff. And we just keep taking our dream circle and just making it smaller and smaller and smaller. When the wealthiest person that I've met in my life, when I asked him, what is the biggest thing? He said, Robert, everything you think. Roger Penske, billionaire. He says, Robert, everything that average people think is just the opposite. Just the opposite. And I go, really? And he goes, you know what a budget is? And I said, yeah. He says, my budget is to always earn more than I can spend. And right now the world is saying, maybe you should get rid of that second car. Maybe you should downsize. Maybe you should start cutting out, your TV time and get rid of cable or get rid of your apps. And what they're doing is the whole world's saying what you need to cut down. They were telling this guy, do you have to buy a coffee from Starbucks every day? Why do you have to eat at Subway? And he says, well, I love my coffee from Starbucks. I love my Subway sandwich. I just wish they wouldn't go up. Well, maybe you need to start brown bagging it. Maybe you should, stop drinking coffee. It's like, what? The goal in life is not to make your life less enjoyable, less fulfilled. But we're not taught this in the world. We're not taught that there's an option. Instead of lowering and shrinking your dream circle, you try to ask yourself, in what ways can I make my life better? There's got to be some ways that I can increase the income circle. And when you do that, then you think, wow, what could I do with residual that's compounding? What could I use as leverage? And these are videos that I did all this week for free. So dreams do come true. My next goal and dream is 12 million a year. And by doing that, I got to find a bunch of people that watch a video like this or recorded that go, you know, I'd like to get to six figures. I'd like to get to 200. I'd like to get to 300,000. So there you go. I can show you every single step on how to do it. It's just difficult to find people that are willing to surrender, humble themselves, and follow a certain system that duplicates. The biggest place that people fail in this industry is they're overthinkers and they create stuff that doesn't duplicate. It's nuts to me. So the very first exposure that they give something is someone looks at it and they go, I can't do that. I can't afford a domain name. I can't afford a website. I can't hire someone to build a website. They don't even realize they destroy it because they're trying to follow other people that say you need to be a brand. I was saying this to Ron Henley today. As I said, you know, have you guys heard of Dale Earnhardt? I said this on my Ask Me Anything yesterday. You hear of Dale Earnhardt Sr. won 7 world championships. Jimmy Johnson, 7 championships. Richard Petty, over 200 wins, 7 world championships. Tom Brady, you know, 7 world championships. Someone like, you know, Michael Jordan. Do you know that Tom Brady and Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, you know, why not just be a good team player? You don't have to build a brand. You can let someone else own the team. You can let someone do all the work, all the accountant, all the figuring out, paying all the tax, opening up all the countries. And all I got to do is send people an affiliate link that he provides for me. I don't even have to train him. He trains them. It's like, oh my God, why do I have to take something that people have made millions of dollars doing and just say, I'll add this, I'll subtract this, I'll do that, I'm going to do this thing here, and then I'm going to do my own thing here, and then I'm going to do my own thing here. And then you wonder when people glance at it that they're looking at it a little different. So if I'm going to do what this guy is doing, I got to do this, 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 I got to do this. I can't do that. I don't have time for that. So there's my dream. I go from April to April, May to May 1st to May 1st. And, you know, from this point moving forward, the next goal is to make $1 million a month. To do that, I got to find a lot of people that want to make $1 million a year. So if you're interested, send me a message. I can show you step by step. Take care. We'll see you on the video tomorrow at noon Pacific time. I love and appreciate you. Thank you all for jumping on here. It was neat to see people like Tom and Melody, Ron. Thank you so much for getting on here. Hi, Nicholas, Ruby, So, Danielle, Naomi, Chris, Bill, Anand, Randy, Jonas, thank you so much. Love and appreciate you guys. Gabriel, sorry I can't scroll up any further. I love and appreciate you guys. Bye, Michael. Take care. God bless.